welcome to Business One-to-Ones. And I am here with a very special guest that we have for this episode. As you know that we are doing a one-to-one because we are a member of this organization called the Business Network International, wherein we are encouraged to know more about our members and their businesses. And for this episode, let us welcome the owner of JBC Interiors, Mr. Joselo Cimafranca. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you, OG. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. All right, so let's get into it. How about you tell us about yourself and basically your less than your 40-second pitch to the usual BNI meeting. So if it's gonna be your turn to do your weekly presentation, what would it be?
All right. Well, would be do you know that if you use modular kitchen or modular cabinets, you would be somewhat be free from viruses because of the design. The design will like keep make your kitchen, especially your kitchen, clean because of the design. But anyway, I'm Joselo Cimafranca, General Manager of JBC Interior Motives Design and Works, and been in the business for I think 5 years now. And that's what we do. We help customers to organize themselves in their house and make their dream come true, at least in that area.
Okay, so let's go to, let's know more about your history and how did you get into the modular cabinet business. So walk us through, so this is like a time machine if you want to know more about your history, and then walk us through how you get into the business and things of that nature.
All right, sure. 2006, I started my business in the supply of high pressure laminates. And that's where I get to meet many architects and designers and modular cabinet fabricators and installers also, because they're buying laminates from us. And that's where I tend to become very interested to know the technology. And so from there, meeting different clients who are into this, I'm trying to learn from them. And I had several deals with some of them, but some of them did not really, many of them did not really push through. But until I met a friend in Manila, and he helped me to from start to finish. So he's coaching me. If I have questions, he answers me through email or through chat. So that was very, very good for me because I have somebody I can trust to teach me, and I learn it. So now we're 5 years, and so for the past 5 years we have done so many already. We have contracted so many projects already, and we have encountered so many problems already, and we were able to deal with all those problems one by one.
All right.
So that's a brief history of my company.
Right. So about for other people, you have mentioned that you were mentored by somebody going into this business. Okay. How about right now for the experience that you already gained, and you have mentioned that you already have served a lot of clients, encountered a lot of problems. What would your advice be for people who want to go into your industry?
Yeah, that's a very good question. You know, if there's anyone who would want to pursue any business, uh, especially in this kind of industry, I think you need to really just ask. Though not everybody, not many will mentor, but I'm sure
Mhm.
there are some, there are a few. And for me, if there would be some people who would really ask me, I would be honored to be able to help those people, because me for one, I learned it from other people anyway. And so I think it's just right that we also give it back, or give it to those who really wants to.
Pay it forward. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, and let's go to a more relevant topic, which everybody's been affected by this COVID-19 pandemic, right? So, uh,
Yeah, everybody.
everybody, and uh, for your business and for the industry that you're in, uh, how does this pandemic affected how you do business, and if any, what are the things that you are doing to mitigate its effects?
Well, the pandemic paralyzed the business. And I know it's not just our business, but it's all business.
Yes, everybody.
We have pending projects, and we cannot collect, because how can we collect? We cannot install. And we have we cannot accept new projects also, but the bills are running, because of course we issue PDC for our rental. And just today I received a statement of account. So things like that. So it's very, very challenging, really, with the situation that there's no movement. And of course our people are we're so concerned about our people, because they don't right now. And I mean, last week we released their vacation pay. At least they have something for the week.
Right.
And maybe next week we'll think of something else. So, and I'm sure if the quarantine will last longer, it would really be more challenging in what way. But what I did right now is I converted my office into uh, making PPEs, especially the face shields. So it's not very hard though, and at least two of my people, no, three of my people are working with us. So at least they're being paid.
Mhm.
So not everybody is working back, because some of them are located very far. Only those within, near the location of our place. But at least in that area, they at least their salary, they're being paid.
Yes. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's the as especially for business owners who have people, right? I think our hearts really belong to those who we employ, and seeing them, especially in the kind of industry that we are not the Ayalas and the SM that has, a 1 billion peso relief
Yeah.
fund that yeah, we can just uh, give away. So for us, micro, small, and medium enterprises, it's really hard for this pandemic, especially for our people who are uh, badly affected by it. Let me ask you this. No, I'm going off my script. But what inspires you? What inspires you to do what you just have did? And because it's like that, like people right now would rather be scared, especially business owners, as you have mentioned. You just have release your statement of account. You just receive statement of account. You have people to pay. But what inspires you, to move forward and to look in the brighter side of things?
Yeah, it's a very good question. And I think we believe that in every problem there's always a solution. And we don't have to stay afraid, or be scared, or be in fear. We cannot be paralyzed. And I want to be somewhere on the side of the solution. So uh, these ideas that came in, it's not really from me. I just learned it from other people. And it dawned on me that I think I can do that. And I think and when we started doing it, I find a purpose doing it. I find myself fulfilled, happy, and I feel like I'm able to help other people also who are working with us. And because they're focused on doing something. They're not focused on the fear, on the scare, but they're
Right.
focused on doing something. At least they can do something. And of course, selling it to people, we're glad, we're happy. They buy, and it's not that, it's not, of course we are happy because we have some money that we get from them, but not only that is we're able to help them. Many of them are really, they have valid reasons why they're buying those, and so at least we're able to provide their needs, and so
Right.
it has a sense of fulfillment. And we're happy now. We come up with this, and we realize that actually it's not, in every problem there's always opportunity. And so we only are like scratching the tip. It's just a surface. I know there's more. If the quarantine will go longer, I'm sure there are more opportunities out there now we can find. And we'll just have to be part of the solution.
Right. Yes. Yeah, and that really what you said really resonates with me, especially coming from the tech industry. We always advocate that that's especially for services sectors like yourself or doing customized cabinets. It's very service oriented, and then for us in the tech industry, we always say to productize your service, and then once you come up with a product, you have to digitize your product so it will be available online. It will be available in in social media or whichever, and that's actually what this pandemic has caused. Everything, all the brick and mortar businesses, looking into tech platforms on how they would be able to do their business continuance and things of that nature. So we are also looking into helping other people to digitize their products. So that's why I'm heavily investing on doing one-to-ones with our fellow members, so that we will be able to see, especially right now, there's a lot of time that we can do just go online, and like
Yeah,
if it's a regular regular day, that we have a lot of appointments and meetings and site trippings and site visits and
exactly.
ocular inspections, things of that nature. So this is also, I think, a lot of opportunities for us to explore things that we haven't explored, especially on my case, that 90% of our clients are in New York, which is on lockdown. So
Mm,
we're very highly affected by
yeah,
that. That's the most number of cases in the U.S. It's the new epicenter, and right now as you have said, my people are. We have suspended our operations for the past 2 weeks because of that. But we're looking again into other opportunities. And okay, so I think at this point, let's talk more about JBC, right? JBC interiors and the products and services that you offer. If you have the floor to promote the products and services that you do.
all right. So yeah, so we are into customized modular cabinets. So what is that? Usually for kitchen, closets, and any cabinets in the house. Um, we work with architects, and for the end users who wants their kitchen renovated, uh, we can work with them. We can show them different colors, different designs, and usually it's modern design because that's where we are right now.
Mhm.
And you know, that's what we do. And uh, my ideal referral really is um, anybody who's building a house or who just bought a condominium unit, or even the office also, like they have a new office, they want to have an office layout, they want to have a office partitions like that. We can also do that. We do a lot of we can do office partition works, we can do tables, we can do
Okay.
toilet partitions, things like that. So anything you see in the office, more likely we can do that.
Okay.
um,
And then do you work particularly with an architect? Do you need to have a design first before you would be able to take on a client, or the client can also ask for a design from you if, like, for example, they're
Yeah.
just remodeling a kitchen, for example.
Oh, any. If they have an architect, then we can work with whatever the plans of the architect. If they don't have architects or a designer, we will see the scope of work. Because if it's really a kind of scope of work that they need to have an architect, then I'll refer them to our architects.
Right. Okay.
But if it's only a simple design,
Mhm.
you know, request, we don't
Right.
need to. We can do that. We can handle that.
Okay. Gotcha. Mm. All right. So, uh, right. So right now at this point, let's talk about BNI and why we are actually doing this one to one, because we are part of this organization called the Business Network International. We are
Right.
encouraged to know more about our members. That's why I asked those questions earlier. So let's talk about BNI. Why did you join BNI? That's the first question. And the second question would be, for those visitors or even some of the audience that are interested in joining a BNI chapter, uh, what it would be uh, a benefit for them if they would join such organizations like ours.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good question. Uh, I joined BNI because I see that it's an opportunity. This is a way that uh, I can promote my business, and I have many people who can help me promote my business as well. There's so many benefits actually I gained from BNI. So personally, in that area, number one is I got a lot of referrals from my BNI friends. Uh, Not limited only to my business, but with many other business that I have. So I get to have some referrals from them. So that's a one benefit that I got. Second is I get to use their services, and of course, in every company, your operations, you needed uh, services, and because I have a BNI member or who can do that, so it's a lot easy for me to deal with people that I know, to deal with people that I trust,
Right.
than to look for other people. There's the other businesses, the other contacts we had are still there, but at least I know if I can play it. I can like, okay, uh, I can, because I can determine who's good in this, and wherein I won't feel, uh, you know, there's lesser hassle in my part to be able to run my operations, because there are other people, there are suppliers, there are people who can serve me in that area. So that's another benefit that I got from BNI. And of course, I think another benefit is you see a lot of opportunities, because in BNI we have, like in our chapter, we're coming from different sectors, we're coming from different businesses. So I get to understand different businesses, and I see opportunities from those businesses. And in fact, in my case, with because of my involvement with BNI, I was able to venture into other businesses
Mhm.
because of along the way I'm learning uh,
Mhm.
what to do about, learning new things. And I think another benefit also is you get to see to network with so many people.
Right.
So we never run out with networks, and I think that's what BNI is really, and
Mhm.
that's one great benefit that I have. I know if I need on if I know there's somebody needs this something, it's very easy for me to refer somebody for what she needs or what they need because of my membership in BNI. So for our visitors and friends who would like to check out BNI, I think you should come and see what we are doing. And yeah, I think um, you will benefit a lot. Not only getting referrals, not only being able to give referrals, but in our operations itself, and there's so many, there's so many more. Not counting the fun that we have, not counting the friendships that we have developed, not counting so many other things, but that we benefit from being part of the organization.
And I actually concur with everything that you have mentioned. And for me as well, that's actually a personal experience that I have. It was actually Joselo who was the one who talked with me the longest when I was first visiting the investment chapter. Actually visited
Oh
probably
yeah,
three
really.
chapters, yeah, three chapters, BNI chapters. And it was investment chapter who I felt that I belong to. So there's a lot. There were several chapters who were recruiting me to be part of theirs, but it was actually investment chapter that I felt that I belonged to with even the first time that I joined the meeting. So that's what I can also tell our visitors, that you could just feel, the feel, the chapter or the BNI a chapter that you're visiting, and because it's not for everybody, I can just say that, it's not for everybody. BNI is not for everybody, especially for tech startups that are just starting out. And I have actually invited a lot of from our startup community, but however, it's again, it's not for everybody. Some BNI is, because BNI is intense, right? There's a lot of commitment you need to give. It's a weekly referral
Yeah.
giving. There are key performance indicators, and it's not a joke to invest a lot of time and effort and energy to become part of this. But if
Right.
so, our visitors out there are actually up for the challenge, because I'll say it's really a challenge. Not all benefit, but also a commitment, a commitment on your side. If you want to become a member, then it's a weekly, it's a weekly commitment. Uh,
Right.
all right, yeah. So with that, let's go to and if you have already been to a BNI meeting, it's very structured, just like a one-to-one is also structured. So at this point, we'll do our gains exchange. So gains is an acronym for goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. So at this point, so Joselo, what are your goals for JBC for the short term and for the long term?
Yeah. Well, simple goal is JBC will become big. We'll be able to serve many. We'll have a name, and and if there's anyone who would need like cabinets, things like that, and they know where to call, who to call. But of course, the short-term goal right now is to be able to acquire equipments, machines, so that we will be more efficient. And when we are more efficient, we can be more profitable. And when we're more profitable, then we can do more.
Right.
So that's my goal for the company.
All right, cool. And let's go to letter A, which stands for accomplishments. What have you accomplished so far uh, in the years that you have been running the business?
Um, We have several accomplishments. Of course, the projects that we've finished, those are really good accomplishments that we had.
Yes.
Uh, and we get to be referred by those clients, like their if their cousin needs one, if their brother or sister needs one, or if their friends needs one, so they refer to me. So it's a good sense of accomplishment being able to be referred to by our customers. So um, yeah, in that sense, I think that's probably the accomplishment that we have accomplished for now. Uh, yeah.
All right. And uh, let's go to letter I, which stands for interest. So apart from business, which we have been talking for the whole show, let's talk about your interests, hobbies, interests, and that you that that you have.
I'm interested in solving people's problem.
Mm,
That's always the what engineers are, you know.
right.
And that's what also I like about my business, because we go to a client because they have a problem, and it gives me a lot of a sense of fulfillment, being able to help them in their problems. and and even right now, if there's definitely we are facing right now a crisis, uh, in a sense that what we are doing right now, we're glad we find something that we can offer, uh, at least in what we can do. So yeah, it's still related to that, being able to solve people's problem.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's not much. I don't have much sports. I used to play basketball, but uh, I gave up the dream of becoming part of NBA.
Yeah, me too. Me
uh,
too. I gave that up.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
all right. So, uh, okay, so let's go to letter N, which stands for networks. What are the current networks that you belong to, apart from, of course, BNI, and or clubs or social clubs or alumni groups that you are currently part of, and uh, that you can also offer to our members, and at the same time, what are the networks that you are looking into also getting involved into, that our members might also belong to.
All right. Yeah. Other than BNI, I'm part of Rotary Club of Manila Metro. In fact, I'm the incoming president by
Congratulations.
July. I'll be,
Nice.
I'll be inducted the new president of the club, and it's a wonderful experience to be part of Rotary. We are so focused on giving, focused on uh, serving the community. Also, I'm part of the church, Metro Cebu International Christian Church, and in the church, it's not like BNI or Rotary, wherein you are like among the colleagues, but in the church, it's like a range of ages, from young people
Right.
to the single, to the married, newly married, and then those who are already a little older in their marriage, and the older people. So it's a different uh, atmosphere, and it's more like you're becoming a dad and a mom, a brother and a sister, things like that. So it's very good. I love the church, and I love to read the Bible, and I love to explain to people about uh, the scriptures, because not many knows about it. And just like us, when we study mathematics, we don't know the concept, so you need a teacher. The same way also with the Bible. Sometimes it's not something that can easily be understood right away, so you needed a teacher or somebody who can explain, and I can do that. Actually, I can do that. I've studied ministry, like for several years, online ministry, and the ministry that ministry study that is offered to us. So somehow, that's what I'm doing also. That's also my passion right away. And other than that, of course, I have my old organizations back then in college, old fraternity organization. There's still, we still have in contact. And also my old batchmates, my old classmates. We're planning to have a reunion this year, hopefully after the COVID crisis. So yeah, those are my networks. Maybe there are other, uh, but those are like the major networks that I have.
Right. So let's go to lastly letter S, which stands for skills. So what are the current skills that you have, and the skills that you might want to acquire? And yes.
Yeah, it's a very good question. There are many skills that I have developed. I think I can write. Uh, other, and I can teach, especially about when we're talking about the Bible. I can do that. Um, but on the business side, uh, yeah, I can also do that. I can. But what I like to do is like what you're doing. So that's a skill that I would like to acquire. Having I'm not very good at this. In fact, it's kind of awkward for me yet
Oh,
because I'm not so used to it. But
you're actually doing a
this is
good
the
job.
future.
Yeah.
This is the future. This is the present and the future. And
Right.
the COVID-19 crisis just showed it to everyone that we need to acquire this kind of skills, because this is the life that we're gonna live.
Right. Exactly.
So I want to do that. I want to have my own blog, video blog. I want to acquire that kind of skill, to be able to express my ideas in a video, things like that. So yeah,
Um,
those are some of the that I can share.
and then we're more than happy to help you with post production and pre production, because if you have mentioned, you already know how to teach, you know how to explain, and that's it. That's the only skill that you need to have. And then you just need to have a team that will just do the pre-production and the post-production so that you would look good. That's it. Yeah, yeah. And everything else, yeah, and everything else,
Exactly.
it's really up to you. The message that you convey, how you contextualize the concepts that you want to convey to the audience that you are targeting. So that's actually what just media is, and guys like us from Reva staff just do the pre-production, post-production, but everything else it's really up to the person who's the hero of the story. So that's what we're doing for our customers, abroad. That no, these are real estate agents that are selling properties, and last year alone we have helped realtors sold 5,000 homes, and what we did for them is just the
Wow.
pre-production, post-production, and then everything else it's up to them. We just make them look good. So that's our job. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's very good.
And I think at this point we actually this is the last part and of the show, which is what advice can you give to young people and aspiring entrepreneurs who wants to go into business in general.
Wow. Yeah, I think the best advice that I can give is when you're still young, um, you know, venture into business. Uh, I don't know what kind of business. Sometimes we don't know the kind of business that you want to venture into. So you like take that as a stepping stone. So you may face some problems on the first business, on the second business, but if you don't give up, you'll end up really finding the business that you really want to do. It would be good if you know already what you want to do at first, but sometimes we don't know. But I think that the thing that we need to really, I think my advice really is you go into business. For me, I took up chemical engineering and I spent 5 years as a chemical engineer, but I wasn't able to use those 5 years, you know, in a sense that I'm working as a chemical engineer. I'm not working as a chemical engineer. I'm just like an engineer by name. Of course, the discipline I got, I can use in whatever I'm doing right now. So I felt like, what if I just like focus on business early on, uh, it would have I would probably would have accomplished more because I started the business when I was already like 32 years old. So I spent what maybe 7 or 8 years wondering what to do with my life. So so things like that. So I think it would be great if you start with business and explore and make a lot of mistakes, and I'm sure by the time at a certain age you'll already be successful earlier than most people. So that's my
All
advice.
all right. So there you have it. Joselo Cimafranca of JBC Interiors. Thank you so much for gracing us in this episode of Business One-to-Ones. And I hope we would have you as well in our future episodes. And we're very lucky to have you at this, especially for what you have been doing amidst the COVID-19 crisis. So thank you so much. And uh, watch out for our next episode. For everybody out there, we'll be releasing this episode in a few days, and hope that you would be there to watch our episodes, especially our BNI family, to support the businesses that we are featuring in this show. So again, my name's OJ Lopez from Business One-to-Ones, and I'm saying to you that that big dream would have not been put inside of you if you don't have the capacity to achieve it.